Tell me if this has ever happened to you. You go ahead, you do a bunch of work on your car just to bolt it back together and then see all the old rusty hardware that you left in the way. That's exactly what's happening with the C10 project behind me. We just painted the frame and we went to put it back together with these old rusty brake lines and realized how bad they looked. Sure, they worked, but we just figured while we're here, we might as well upgrade all the things we can, including the brakes. So today, I'm going to show you how to upgrade your brakes, starting with a reel, ending with a factory style finish. So to start this project off, we're going to need to grab our materials and tools. You're going to need some fresh brake line and some fittings. Now if you're just doing a patch, you can get this in short, straight lengths at a local auto store. But if you're building a car, it's much more cost effective to grab a roll of tubing in the right size. We have the whole rear axle to do, so we're starting with a fresh 25-foot roll of 3/16" steel line. Having the whole roll is also nice if you make a mistake while you're working and need to start over. Next, you'll need to unroll a length of line and straighten it out. We're using this pistol grip brake line tubing straightener and some straightening pliers. And yes, we've all gotten away without these in a pinch, but if you don't want your fresh lines looking like spaghetti, these will really amp up the end result. And the last tool for forming will be a handheld tubing bender. The one we have here can handle 4 different sizes of tubing, all of which you'll run into on any vehicle and can bend that tubing up to 180 degrees. You absolutely need a set of these. Trying to make 90-degree bends without will lead to kink lines that will crack and fail. This is not the tool to skimp out on. Finally, you'll need a tubing cutter and a flare tool. Once you have all your tools, line, and fittings, you can start working. Our first step is going to be measuring our old lines and adding a few inches of length so we can cut for final fit later. If you don't have these old parts on hand, measure the distances you need on the car itself. Then start gently unbending the roll until you have the amount you need, including the few extra inches, and cut it free from the roll. If you haven't used a cutter before, the process is pretty simple. Start by very gently clamping down with the cutter and spinning it around the line. After a pass or two, tighten it just slightly and spin it around the line again a couple of times. You'll feel the resistance go away as it cuts. Repeat this until it's free. Then take a deburring tool, usually on the back of the cutter, and clean up the inside of the line. Alright, so we got our line cut. Now we're going to go ahead and get rid of this bit of bend it has in it. We're going to use a combination of these two tools, work down, back and forth, and get this straight. It's nice when you've got a flat surface here to work with. It helps keep you making everything in line because you're working in 3 dimensions. And we don't need this to be laser straight. We're going to bend it up anyway. All right. And that's straight enough for us to work with. Okay, with that, we're ready to start bending these into their final shape. There's 2 approaches you can take here. If, like us, you have the old lines handy, you can try recreating them on the bench, bend by bend, using the old line as your guide. Or, if your old lines are missing, you can also use the actual car as your guide, starting with a fitting and working your way down the line. We tried both and got nicer results by working directly from the car. Which one you choose is up to you. For us, the truck bed is off, so we have easy access to the rear axle. If the bed was on, it might be easier to work from the old line. We're going to start by putting a new fitting on the end of our line and adding a flare so we have a set place to start from and we're not estimating the distances of anything. Our preferred method for flaring lines is the professional brake line and tubing flaring tool. They can do a variety of sizes from 3/16 to 3/8 tubing and 3 different style flares. Lock down the tool in a vise so it's nice and secure. Load the correct die in place for your preferred flare and size. For us, that's 1/4 inch and a 45-degree angle. Set your depth with operation 0 and tighten the clamp on the tool down so the line doesn't move on you. Now just move through the next 2 steps, easily labeled on the tool. Operation 1 will create a bubble, followed by Operation 2, which will create a double flare. This tool's pretty straightforward, but it's never a bad idea to do a couple test pieces so you can have the hang of it. Now we can start bending the line. Screw the fitting in and mark where your first bend needs to be. We double check it against our old line to get started. Now load the line into the tubing bender, like so, and make your first bend. This tool is great because it has degree markers on the side, which will help you be able to make symmetrical bends. More on this in a minute. Our first bend is a simple 90. Then check your work by screwing the fitting in and marking where your next bend needs to be. We get the first two done, and here's the progress. Because brake lines like this are working in 3D space, not just a flat plane, it helped us to mark where the bend is and which direction it needed to go with a small arrow. Our next bend to go around the leaf spring perch is a combination of 120 and 60 degree bends. This is where those indicators on the tubing bender are super helpful. We get them bent and continue the process of mounting the line, marking, bending, and checking for the remaining part. This method ensures the line will fit because we're checking at each bend and making sure we hit the multiple hold downs built into the axle. We get to the end, add another fitting, then put our double flare on, and using line wrenches, screw the newly formed brake line into its final place. Here's the process again on the passenger side of the vehicle. While we were at it, we also replaced the old soft line with a new stainless one as well. And just like that, you have your new factory style lines on your ride. Now, using your preferred method, make sure to bleed them and you can get back on the road. This definitely took a little practice to really nail down all the steps. The first line I made worked, but it wasn't very pretty, and I was thankful I had a fresh roll of tubing to try again. So be patient and follow these steps and you can get back to cruising in no time. So if you want to tackle this project, we have everything you need from brake line, tubing benders, brake tools, and more. Just head over to eastwood.com.